go a little faster. Drive right straight up in. I'm just gonna come over here. Okay.
My name is Billy Blackwell. I'm the director of the Ojibwa Cultural Resource Center, which is a state of Minnesota Title IV ESEA project here in Grand Portage. And our project began about 2 years ago, and it tries to answer the needs, or the question of fact that there is not much or any Indian materials that are really being used in the school, our local school district, that have been developed that reflect the culture and history of the Anishinaabe or the Ojibwa people. And so we in our project try to do a number of things. The first being we try to develop curriculum materials which can be used in the classroom here in the classrooms in the Cook County School District. We work primarily in the elementary level, and we also do some work in the high school. But in our first year, we did a lot of research, set up the office, did a lot of research, and got ready to do 3 curriculum materials for the second year. And then a little bit later we'll talk about some of those materials. But I guess in the first year we had to set up some type of a method of determining what we did want in the classroom and how to go about getting it developed. I was lucky enough that I do speak Ojibwe, and I am an Ojibwe travel member of this band, so that I could go to some of the people and start talking about the stories and the history to be used in curriculum matters. We also visited the classrooms, the elementary classrooms, each classroom at least one time, some of them 2 and 3 times, in working with the children in the whole county to prepare them for materials that would be coming into their classroom. We also teach, in our beginning, our 3rd year of the Ojibwe language here on the Grand Portage Reservation at the log school elementary cabin, or elementary schoolhouse, where we do teach the Ojibwe language. And that language is taught to the 1st through 6th graders around 4 hours a week. And I guess the whole philosophy behind what we're doing is that we feel that is a primary need that is very important for our children and for non-Indian children to learn about the history and culture of our people, the Ojibwe. Mio Minik, first part. Some of the materials that we did use in the first year of the project I've got with me here. And we were fortunate enough that with the language project, the State Department at the University of, or the State Department at the Minnesota Education Department did develop an Ojibwe language book, a unit, which is available to school districts for free along with cassette tapes of this unit that we do use in the community here in our language courses. We also use a number of mimeograph sheets and language masters with local dialect. So this is the Ojibwe language course that we do use here.
Once more. Okay.
Do that again?
Yeah, just hold the book up. Okay.
Also during the initial year, the first year of the project, we purchased a number of books to be used in elementary through senior high. Here's one book that is used in the Head Start level. It's called Wanit Kiwaden, and it is a book that talks about how this little Indian girl that goes to the Head Start program is the same as everyone else. She brushes her teeth in the morning and she eats breakfast and has a mommy and daddy like everyone else. But she is different. She has a culture that is different than the other non-Indian children. She's a little Indian girl. And she has things that make up herself and her being that are different. That's called culture. So this kind of goes into that and points out to little children that to be different is not to be wrong. We have many books here and materials at the Ojibwa Cultural Resource Center. Here is a favorite of some of the younger kids. It's called the Indian 2 Feet series. Indian 2 Feet and this horse and the eagle feather, Indian 2 Feet and the wolf cubs, the bear, many different things. We here at the project developed 3 different curriculum units in our second year that we're very pleased with. The first one is called the Grand Portage Indian Coloring Book. And that is a book that
No, you can leaf right through it. Yeah.
okay, that is a book that contains a number of bits of information about the area and about Ojibwe people in general. And it talks about the culture, the history, and things that are very relevant to us right here in Grand Portage and in the county. Names, places that kids every day pass by on the highway, rivers, lakes, and mountains that ring out with the familiar names of our Ojibwe people, of stories and forgotten moments from long ago that we believe should be part of their everyday learning. With this coloring book comes a teacher's guide that has many different objectives and classroom activities in it to supplement the coloring book. The coloring book is used in the elementary schools right now in approximately 6 or 7 different districts. And the teacher's guide contains some, like I say, many different activities, geography work, spelling, many different things, vocabulary, and different field trips and activities. So that is the Grand Portage Coloring Book and Teacher's Guide. The second unit that we did this year has recently been printed and we're real happy with, is a bilingual stories unit that's done some real beautiful artwork. And this is a culmination of about a year's working. And the first booklet is 3 stories that is done both in English and in Ojibwe. And this was the work of many resource people, reading specialists, and the old people, the elders telling the story, the Ojibwe reading specialists helping us with the translation work, and some people from the university. And of course the stories are traditional old Ojibwe stories from hundreds and hundreds of years ago from here. These stories in this booklet will soon be followed by 6 other stories and 2 more booklets. We anticipate that this unit will be used quite extensively throughout Minnesota and Wisconsin. And it's called Bay and Abin, Come Look. And it's a series of stories that are done bilingually in English and Ojibwe. The third unit that we did this year is a unit to familiarize students with the Ojibwe language. Here you see a young girl at the Grand Portage School here working on a language master. And this booklet does not set about to teach students the language, but to teach them facets of the language and teach them about the language. It talks about the Ojibwe people, a map of the different disbursements of the Ojibwe. It talks about the different tribes that speak a language much like the Ojibwe. And the book then goes into a number of things about the language with classroom activities, pictures, names for members of the family, the chief here in Grand Portage, to names of 25 different cities and towns in the state of Minnesota with their Indian names in Ojibwe. Also going with this particular unit is a classroom poster counting in Ojibwe, different names of things that go along with the booklet. A cassette tape is also a part of this particular unit that talks about the different activities for this unit. The words are pronounced, and some classroom drills, language drills, are also used along with this booklet. So that is the third unit that we did this year to complete our objectives for the second year, that 3 units would be developed. Here is a picture of some of the originals of the artwork. See some of the beautiful artwork that was done. We also have on tape here many of our elders from the community in a cassette tape library who are telling stories, biographical sketches, and answering questions that the community has as what really went on long ago. Questions as varied as from who settled disputes to particular towns, villages, such as the mouth of the Pigeon River where the Indian people used to live, where they live no longer, to when the flu hit here at Chippewa City near Grand Marais in 1909, the effect of the people upon the flu epidemic, to many different things that we are delving into here in recording the history and culture of our Ojibwe people for classroom use. You. Me, you, that only means that's it.
Okay. I have to get you back and forth.
Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we're doing here in Grand Portage with the project. And personally, what motivates myself to become involved in a project like this. And I have a real deep commitment personally to this type of work, and I've tried in the last 5 or 6 years to learn as much as I can about our own Ojibwa culture, our language, our history. And we're trying here in the community through a number of different things, through education, through social events and community events, to keep our Indian culture. It's easy to use the Indian culture as a word, culture, but I guess to us it really means everything. And we recently had a great honor here in the village. We had a Minnesota Teacher of the Year here from our Indian school. And we took our drum here to the community building and honored her in the Indian way. And I guess all the plaques in the world and things like this mean a great deal, but we hope to her, and we're sure it does, it means just as much to be presented in an Indian ceremony in eagle feather by an Indian veteran that was active in combat in the tradition of our tribe. And we try to do many things here with the language. We have a lot of powwows. A lot of our people are helping the younger ones make their outfits for powwows. Different field trips that we have, wild ricing, maple sugar, and it's really easy to talk about things in books, but here at the reservation we think that it's too late almost, and that we have to get right into these things and teach our children, and all of us, adults, children, all of us combined, to live the things we're talking about. And I think this is myself, I think it's very important. I try to teach my little boy all those things. Our family tries to keep involved in an Indian way of life as much as we can. We believe that we were given these things and that we have to use them today in the everyday world as much as we can, whether it's education or economics or any tribal programs. We think that we have to keep our Indian way of life. So this is what we're trying to do in our programs, and with the Ojibwa Cultural Resource Center. We're trying to develop materials, provide the Ojibwa language classes, and just keep up the traditions of our tribe today in education. And I'm real proud of the fact that I think we are doing a good job of it. And in the future we're going to try to produce more materials and try to continue the community events that mean everything to us, our Indian way of life. Miigwech.